Aren't y'all tired of these clout-chasing, no-chemistry having, over-the-hill gatekeeping radio podcast hosts who just provide no culturally concise commentary? We actually got something for that.
This is Touchdowns and Tangents, your weekly spot for NFL takes, topical tangents, and context for the culture. So tune in, because you never know if you're going to get a take, a tangent, but either way, it's a touchdown.
What's up, good people? Live from Hawthorne, California, it's the dynamic duo, Touchdowns and Tangents, your Thursday night spot for NFL takes, topical tangents, and concise commentary for the culture.
And celebratory pizza because the Chargers got their ass whooped.
Yeah, pretty much. Shout out to my Charger tickets for losing all value.
Especially after, Justin Herbert got hurt and he's out for the year with a whole torn finger.
Yeah, it's just disgusting. Anyways, I digress. Got a loaded show tonight. Lots of content to talk about as the season winds down, as fantasy years come to a close. But, yeah, hopefully Nikki's joining us shortly. She might be ducking the fantasy fade that she's about to get this weekend. Either way, though, it's all good. With that, man, there's a lot of stuff to talk about.
Let's talk about it.
All right, so first up, this is on the top of the rundown, but I digress. Lakers won the in-season tournament and are putting up a banner about it, which is blasphemous to me. Because how are you the number one team in banners? You've literally had like 3 of the greatest NBA teams ever. You've had like 5 of the top 10 NBA players to ever lace them up. And here you are celebrating an in-season tournament that half the players didn't even know the rules to until the game started. And then on top of that, they're not even like the 1 seed in the actual standing. So it's like, I don't know. They ran a fat Zion and beat the Pacers to win a half a banner and take a half a lead over Boston. Cool story, I guess. But yeah, man. Thoughts, Kenny? Tell you, be ready. You're always like, I'm always ready.
Let the record state, Kobe said well before he died, we only hang championship banners. This is the regular. It's not even the All-Star break. It's not even Christmas, bro. None of this shit matters. Hey,
It's just the NBA
the WNBA
trying to compete
did something.
with the NFL.
The WNBA did something cool. Let's actually make money off of it, since we don't make money off the WNBA. That's what it feels like. You just bit the WNBA's entire flow, and then you did it worse. At least with the WNBA, that shit was kind of cool.
Stomach sounded like a garbage disposal. With
That wasn't my
inside
stomach.
of it.
That was me hiccuping. That wasn't my
I
stomach.
don't know what the hell that was. It sounded like a gurgle, a hiccup, burp, all at once. Like,
That wasn't my stomach. That was a hiccup. It was weird.
that shit was wild, bro. Never want to hear that again.
I don't want to hear it
demons
again.
coming out of you, bro.
Yeah, I
wild.
don't know what's happening right now.
All right, moving on. News from the week. SoFi is going to be hosting the 2027 Super Bowl. Speaking into existence, I will be there this time. Not going to let another one slide past me, so I'll be there this time.
I'll probably be working.
And hopefully the Rams won't be winning.
I still hate myself for not betting all my money on the Bengals to make it to the Super Bowl. I literally said they're the dark horse to make it because Jamar Chase is a monster. The offense was on all cylinders. Defense is playing great. And I didn't put the money behind them to beat the Titans, the Raiders, or the Chiefs. The amount I could have been a millionaire. I kind of dropped the ball on that one. Disappointing. What could have been?
Anyways, Thursday night football, we already alluded to it a little bit, but Chargers got their ass whipped. I don't really see a scenario where Brandon Staley makes it out of there as head coach. Like, he might get Lane Kiffin and left at the tarmac, be forced to take a Greyhound back or some bullshit.
Yeah, take a megabus back.
But yeah,
The window seat.
they got
Yeah, the
clapped
toilet.
disgustingly. There was fumbles. I mean, they were down their quarterback, I guess.
Easton Stick still threw 3 touchdowns. He went 23 of 32 for 257 yards and 3 touchdowns. Make it make sense.
Against a team that couldn't even score 3 points last week. They lost to Minnesota 3-0. One of the worst football games ever.
Quinn Johnson scored a touchdown. The Raiders held him to 92 rushing yards.
He held on to the touchdown?
Yeah, 6-yard touchdown catch.
Like, he actually
Which should have been
held
Austin
onto it. He didn't
Eckler's.
just put his hands on it and drop it.
Should have been Austin Eckler's touchdown. I was wrong. I don't even know why I started Austin Eckler. Something told me don't start Austin Eckler. I was like, nah, I kind of have to.
You wanted to be let down. But yeah,
Nah,
you
it's
kind of
like-
had to.
It's the Chargers
Too much
Raiders.
upside.
Yeah,
Too much upside.
There's way too much. Even if he scores garbage touchdowns and they lose, I still win if he does what he did last week and had 21 points.
Wait, actually, didn't Nikki tell us she wasn't going to make it to the pod this week?
She did.
That was this week, right?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
All right, so I can end the Zoom call then.
You could definitely in that Zoom call.
I don't know why I just remembered that, but yeah.
Like I had said it earlier in the week, but I just totally forgot.
Let's moving on. Week 14 highlights. Cowboys blew out the Eagles, which was wild. I fell asleep in the first half and woke up and they were getting clapped. Tommy DeVito and his Italian agent were the hype of Monday Night Football. Really, the whole family, people are saying, look like the Sopranos, which is kind of racist, but also funny.
The most racist stereotype come to life. It's like when Cat Williams said at the roast of Flavor Flav and Flavor Flav was hanging through the air, he said, look, it's a flying monkey. And he was just like, he hated himself for saying it because he's like, his kids are there, his kids is crying. I don't want to say that. But then as soon as he saw Flavor Flav flying through the air, he said, look, it's a flying monkey. You're like, goddamn. Sometimes you just can't avoid a situation like that. Even though you really want to in your heart of hearts, you just have to say it.
Sometimes the universe puts a stereotype in front of you and you just got to get a joke off.
Sometimes the universe is like, no, we got a sense of humor.
It's better to get it off than someone else.
Yeah. Because at least when you say it, you're coming from a place of spontaneity. You know, otherwise it's just probably somebody saying it to be racist. And racist jokes for the sake of being racist aren't funny. A joke that's accidentally racist is hilarious.
The Dolphins collapsed the Titans, which
that was beautiful. I watched.
It's crazy because every time we finally start believing in the Dolphins, they do something that makes us not want to put them in the contender conversation.
Pretty much.
But yeah, A-Chain gave you some points at least.
Dog, I was sweating. At my desk. I was like, I cannot have Tyreek Hill go off or I'm dead.
Moving on, week 15. Got Cowboys at Buffalo, Baltimore at Jacksonville, Houston at Titans. None of those games really sound that enticing, to be honest. Buffalo might get clapped by Dallas. Baltimore might clap Jacksonville. And Houston and the Titans, like, that's really what we're left to. Nobody cares about the AFC South. The AFC South doesn't even care about the AFC South. AFC South has never cared about the AFC South. Like, let's be real.
Pretty much.
It's pretty much been the weakest division since before Peyton Manning got drafted.
Yep.
For Monday Night Football, we got Philly and Seattle, which should actually be a decent game.
Feel free to do a deep dive because I think I have to go throw up.
We couldn't tell by that weird gurgle that you made.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
That's wild.
But for real though, Seattle should just probably sit Geno and just try to tank or get.
So real quick, who are you taking? And you
Eagles,
got the over, the under. Though.
I got the Eagles for the over because Seattle can't score when their offense is
the over
trash.
under is 47. 47 and a
And
half.
it's going to lead mostly towards the Eagles winning probably 30 something to like 16 or some weird shit. And DK Metcalf loves punching people, but like somebody should tell him that Fred Warner is a trained martial artist. He could kill you with his bare hands, and he chooses not to.
I feel like Seattle's been kind of underwhelming the past few weeks, so I feel like this might be their kind of like bounce back game. But I don't know. I'm mostly kind of biased towards the Seahawks, so they do kind of have the secondary to kind of play with the Eagles. They do got a defensive line to give Jan some problems. But yeah, we'll see what happens. They're off 3 straight losses, 4 straight losses. So really just trying to fight to keep their season alive at this point. Tied with the Rams for 3rd in the division. Still in the mix with the wild card, which I can't believe the Vikings are still in the mix for the wild card, which is nasty. And the Packers are still in the mix for the wild card, as well as the whole South, basically, besides the Panthers. So, yeah, man, pretty much the NFC is wide open. I think the Seahawks can pull out one, keep their season alive, and I'm going to take the under as well, just to go completely against the grain. So, see what happens. All right, moving on. This is usually where I throw it to Kenny for college football, but he's violently throwing up, which is weird because we both ate pizza and I was fine. So, wild, but hopefully he's all good. All right. I guess I'll jump to touchdown or turnover until Kenny gets back. Actually, yeah. So, moving on. Touchdown or turnover. Let me find the sound. All right, first up, the Vikings. Fresh off a 3-0 win over the Raiders. Still in the playoff mix. Are going to start, I think it's Nick Mullins? Former Niners quarterback. Over Dobbins, who pretty much was kind of the hot start 4 weeks ago after he was traded. Since cooled off. And so now the Vikings are going to go with Mullins over Dobbs, which is crazy. I think the biggest difference is Dobbs gives you some playmaking ability as a runner. I think he had like 400, 500 rushing yards along with X amount of passing yards. So the offense will be without that kind of weapon versus the Bengals. Ultimately, though, I think they'll probably get clapped by the Bengals as long as the Bengals come out and do what they're supposed to. Yeah, they don't have Joe Burrow, but the past couple of weeks, they found ways to score. I think as long as they can get the ball to their playmakers, especially Jamar Chase, continue to have the ball off to Joe Mixon, they got a chance to really control that game, squeeze out a semi-close one. So, yeah, man, I think it's a turnover for the Vikings just because they lose that playmaking ability, which they'll probably need against a Bengals team that has lots of playmakers. I'm not sure if Justin Jefferson is playing. I know he left the Raiders game last week with the chest injury. It was his first game since going on IR early in the season. I know there were a lot of fantasy owners who left disappointed because he was one of the first 2 picks. But, yeah, he's questionable to play as of today. So, we'll see what happens. They definitely need him. All right, moving on. NBC is dropping Al Michaels from playoff coverage. To say this is a touchdown. I mean, I've been going on and on for a while now. If you listen to the show, I get tired of the same broadcast people. Al Michaels is a legend, no doubt. He's also said some wild shit in the past few years. I mean, he really hasn't been the same since Madden hasn't been in the booth with him, but I digress. He's really done every sort of sport there is, so, I mean, I don't think it's really going to hurt his clout or, his pockets. But, yeah, man, give someone else some shine. Hopefully not just another quarterback who retired. I'm not even sure who's on the NBC team. Because usually when I'm watching Sunday Night Football, I'm either at a fucking bar or I'm sitting here on the couch, halfway watching it, doing some other shit. So, yeah. I think at this point, with all the different telecasts we got, the value of a play-by-play broadcaster has significantly gone down because everyone can pretty much find their own different broadcasters they like. I mean, there's usually one or two for radio. There might even be more depending on how many languages they have. Then you have both teams that have a broadcaster team on site doing it. And then if it's nationally televised, now they even have ESPN has multiple for Monday Night Football. Prime has multiple for Prime, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, there's just a plethora of broadcast options for each game. And so, Michaels was once, untouchable, I think. Yeah, it's time for someone else to come into the fold, and I think the playoffs is a great opportunity for that, especially since this playoffs is going to really be open.
Honestly, the biggest reason why he actually isn't is because he said some really disparaging remarks about Taylor Swift.
I mean, I already said something about how he's been saying wild shit.
No, but in particular about Taylor Swift.
But he said some wild shit a few years ago too.
But nobody cares.
COVID. Said some racist shit before, a few years ago.
But Taylor Swift is moving the needle, and the Chiefs' storyline is very controversial right now. And they already asked her to do the Super Bowl halftime show. So you can't really have the announcer shitting on the Super Bowl halftime show person. That was the biggest reason why. Because I remember I saw when it first broke. I'm like, yeah, it's not surprising. What? What? Bro. The face you're making, but I'm hella confused right now. I want to burn you out when you sleep, man. Yeah, this is why I don't eat Domino's. Don't blame Domino's. And that fucked up cut pizza.
Me and
Domino's.
Me and Philip are fine. You can't blame Domino's.
But I had.
It's probably those old ass berries you ate.
Low key, I'm afraid to kind of. No, the berries were fine.
I don't know, bro. Those berries
I think it's the cucumber. It was the cucumber.
3 weeks.
It was the cucumber, bro.
All that shit was in there solid 3 weeks to a month.
I tried to eat vegetables and it just fucking destroyed my insides.
Because you wait till the last minute. You're worse than Kanye trying to get his album cleared.
We know the album's not coming out tonight, right?
I guess I gotta accept it, but I'm just saying, the way Kanye gets his album cleared is how you clear your vegetables out of the fridge. You wait until literally the last day.
Not always.
Before they're bad.
Only the last 2 times.
The last 3 times since you moved in here.
Nah.
I don't think you've ate a vegetable on a timely matter since you've been here.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
When I first moved in.
Okay.
I ate it the first day I was here.
Uh-huh.
But then I let everything else sit.
Okay.
Which was a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely don't let cucumber sit, ladies and gentlemen. Or zucchini, apparently. I mean, not zucchini, but whatever that green shit is that looks like a cucumber. I forget what that is right now. But at least I'm not as flagrant or disrespectful as Draymond Green. So
fair enough. All right. Well, I was doing touchdown and turnovers since you weren't here for college football.
So you just gonna skip the whole segment?
No, I was just waiting for you to come back.
Cool. I know. I just want to say Draymond gets away with what he does because nobody's willing to bust his fucking face open on the court.
Well, you can talk about that in fair fade, but yeah.
I'm just. I heard,
don't fucking do whatever the fuck you did and then come back in here and try to fuck up the whole flow of the show.
I'm not.
Yeah, you are. That's literally what you're doing.
No, that just needed to be said out loud. No, I'm going to say something else, but that needed to be said out loud. You need to go brush your teeth.
That's what needs to be said out loud.
I didn't eat onions.
You just threw up.
I didn't throw up. Next topic. Talking to the mic. I would cancel the show if I threw up. The fuck? No.
So that's even worse that you stink, dog.
Well, it's also the vegetable juice. That's why.
When will you stop binging fucking juices?
I didn't binge any juice.
I don't know why you can't get it through your head. Your body doesn't like it, bro.
My body just...
Stop doing it. Why do you keep doing it to yourself?
I only do it like once a month.
It's not good for you. Yeah. Your body doesn't like it.
Definitely going to stop.
Couldn't
stick to eating fruit.
Just eat regular fruit and vegetables, bro. You don't have to fucking have a juice everything. You're not white. Your name's not fucking Ashley, bro.
That's sick.
Hug.
You just like offended.
You just
Ashley
over here trying to.
What did Ashley do to you?
You're over here just trying to retake your fucking co-op trauma, bro. Just move on.
I just missed the way those drinks were made at the co-op. I had a hot toddy at the holiday party last night. That shit was lit.
All right, so
fuck. Seriously,
touchdown and turnover. Nick Saban retiring after this season.
What the fuck? Where did you hear this from?
Quote unquote reliable sources.
I believe him when I see it.
And Belichick, same question.
No, Belichick, you getting the fuck out of here. Belichick's gone. You can't keep him. You can't let him rebuild, and he's like 80 years old.
I feel like
you gotta start over.
Everyone's kind of like
the Patriot way is dead.
The Belichick to Chargers narrative, but I feel like
it would help with that. What he would do with that defense?
He wouldn't definitely, but I feel like he'd be up for a rude awakening dealing with that ownership compared to the Crafts.
I don't think they have a choice.
He'd be like, y'all are so cheap. This is what y'all doing. Y'all play here, and this is what's going on.
He's cheap too. Asante Samuel told everybody he was cheap.
I mean, yeah, Jason, yeah.
He literally does not want to pay the best player on the team.
But it's not his money.
Yeah, but he didn't want to. He didn't want to pay.
I mean, that's how he's always been. That's how he's always been. Take it back to Lawyer Malloy.
No, take it back to Richard Seymour.
I mean, Lawyer Malloy was before Richard Seymour.
Well, yeah, because they brought in Rodney Harrison. So, I mean, but you could take it back to, Roman Pfeiffer?
Ugh.
Hey, Roman Pfeiffer's a UCLA great. You're being disrespectful. His name's on the wall in that meeting room. Donnie Edwards.
Linebacker U?
90s linebacker U. The last UCLA linebacker.
The Kendricks?
Kendricks is how old? And
Michael. Miles Jack.
Michael went to Cal. Miles Jack was never a great linebacker. Might have been a Pro Bowl linebacker, but he was really a chase and tackle guy. He was never an elite linebacker in the NFL. When was he an elite linebacker? Please tell me when.
He had Tevin Smith next to him.
I miss Telvin Smith.
Telvin Smith, yeah. Far too soon.
Said he was going to take a year off and never came back. Florida State great. People forget about how great Telvin Smith was.
He was really great out of nowhere too. No one really expected it.
He had to get way stronger. He had to gain a lot of weight to play outside linebacker, and he did it.
All right. Moving on
to the east side.
College football.
The fact that this is like a Draymond Green commercial right now is hilarious. I wonder if he's getting paid residuals for this commercial. Shut up, bro.
Swear to God, man.
I sprayed a bunch of. Next time I decide I want to like juice some shit, just unplug the blender. You do that for me? Be a friend and just be like, hey, I'm just going to cut the power off to the apartment tonight. You don't need to do this. I'd rather you Uber Eats than fucking make a veggie drink that your body's just going to purge out of you and then you're going to be in pain for 3 days. Yeah, I gotta
College football.
Anyway, speaking of purging, so UCLA and Boise State playing in the LA Bowl this week. They had practices. Boise State was practicing at Elko all week. They went to, I think they're at golf and stuff tonight because UCLA went to Universal, so Boise State's definitely at golf and stuff tonight. That's why the NFL holiday party was at NFL Network and not at golf and stuff like it was last year. But
you mean Top Golf?
Why I say golf and stuff?
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's an old school golf spot that used to be in the South Bay. I'm sorry. I meant Top Golf. My bad. I miss golf and stuff. That shit was lit. It was right by Lawndale High too. But anyway, so yeah, they are all at Universal Studios and
damn, so
Top Golf.
All Boise's just out here in the South Bay too. That's crazy.
Yep. And Boise fans are really nice.
Yeah.
Just from what I saw
at
the Mountain West title game, Boise fans are really nice.
Already knew that.
No, but it's like they're just really nice, and they fit into El Segundo, Inglewood, almost perfectly, which is kind of funny.
Why?
I mean, I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna just let you, say it. But anyway, so the Mountain West champions, Boise State Broncos, 8-5 versus the 7-5 UCLA Bruins. Update. I don't know if I said it last week. I think I did. Taylor Green, quarterback, transferred to Arkansas, where Bobby Petrino is going to be the offensive coordinator. And who was quarterback when Bobby Petrino was who was a starting quarterback of a Bobby Petrino-led team where he was running the offense? Lamar Jackson. So, yeah. Taylor Green is like Vince Young mixed with Terrell Pryor in terms of his skill set and physical ability. So, he's playing in the SEC. So, I guess to make sure you also don't have any competition, because I would have definitely took my ass to LSU. He didn't even go to LSU. He just called off the visit and said, yeah, I'm staying in Arkansas. Like, that's a lot. But hopefully it works out for Taylor Green. Ashton Genty, All-American, second-team All-American running back, had almost 1,300 yards rushing and like almost, I think, 600 yards receiving. One of the only people in the country to do that. It's him and senior George Halani. Yeah, George Halani's like a redshirt senior. I think he's like a 6-year senior. Been in college forever. But so I talked to some of it was two virtual press conferences yesterday and today, and we got to talk to the offensive coordinator for both teams, the defensive coordinator for both teams, and one defensive player. I'll play what I got today. But yeah, it was interesting. Like, so there's big players in this game that aren't playing. Obviously, UCLA players transferred, and the ones who transferred weren't allowed to, or who hopped in the portal aren't allowed. Like, they're not practicing this week. So Latu, who's pretty much going to be a first round pick, All-American, he's definitely not playing in the game. But there's going to be, like, the tickets are already sold out. So it's already a sellout game. They're going to be a huge crowd. And I'm going to play first couple of sounds. I'm not going to play all of them because got about like 8 different interviews. I'll put a whole package in tomorrow, and then you guys will be able to listen to it on Touchdowns and Tangents Overtime.
This motherfucker, Jermaine Elyamoner, As soon as the game ended.
Did you just say? Could you say?
I don't know how to say his fucking name, bro.
You almost conjured a demon.
I don't give a fuck.
A fucking sex demon.
I
saying his
don't
name.
give a fuck. I'm stopping the presses right now to talk shit about this motherfucker.
No, but can I just say, you almost conjured like a fucking gypsy sex demon.
Hold on. This motherfucker, as soon as the game ended, you want to hear what he tweets? You want to hear what he tweets, Kenny?
I can't hear a tweet, but I want to hear what he said through you verbalizing it.
He said, and I quote, I don't know how to do a black UK accent that's not racist or sounding like a rapper, so I'm just going to do it in my normal voice.
Oh, God, this is already bad. I think he's
Y'all's favorite rusher ain't do shit tonight. Huh. ... Jermaine, Khalil Mack's number is going to be in the Ring of Honor. Yours is not, bro. He has 4 games of shitting on you, dog. You got to fucking chill. He almost put the record on you guys. You got to chill. He got enough sacks in the first game to still have hella sacks between this game and that game. So you got to chill, bro. That's all I wanted to say. You sure you want to
talk about Joey Bosa?
No, I don't think Bosa played, did he? Was he hurt? No, he was talking about Khalil Mack.
Bosa wasn't inactive
because he's a Raiders player, bro. He knows what's up.
Bosa was giving him that work too.
They both do. He can't handle speed. But I digress. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Back to your spot. I just read that and was inflamed. Worse than whatever the fuck happened to your stomach as soon as the podcast started.
Boise State first.
Worse than Andy seeing all his old colleagues and players in his home region.
You stop. Can you stop?
I can't.
All right.
We're going to do a national search. Psych. We're just going to hire our fucking Disney sports movie defensive coordinator.
You said it, not me. Pete Camarillo speaks for himself and himself alone when talking about the Mountain West Conference and its affiliates.
You know you agree with me, though.
Hey, man, I think all roads would have led to this game if Andy Avalos was still the coach. I didn't think they needed to make a change, but I think with Taylor Green leaving,
we still need to know why.
It's more justified. It's more justified. Danielson's hiring because Taylor Green left. I think Taylor Green was going to leave one way or another.
I know, but he left. It doesn't matter.
He left under better terms with Danielson as the head coach than with Andy. I think he would have just left.
Sure, I guess
he would have just not played the bowl game and just transferred.
He's not playing the bowl game already.
Yeah, but I'm saying
he's already not playing the bowl.
No,
game.
But it would have been for a different reason.
Yeah, man.
And then Genty might have left.
I don't know about that one.
Genty left. He believes in Spencer Danielson. That's why he's staying. He had multiple offers to leave. He's literally a second-team All-American.
Yeah, I know.
He's an NFL running back right now.
I know.
So
I've watched him play.
It's not far-fetched for me to say if Avalos is still the coach going into next season, I think he loses Genty and Green.
Well, that's just speculation. You don't actually know that.
I mean, he lost his number one wide receiver. And isn't that receiver at TCU, Eric McAllister? He had 876 yards receiving early in the season when he left Boise.
Yeah.
He would have had like 1,200 yards receiving at this rate.
Yeah, for sure.
He was on his way to an All-American season at Boise with 2 quarterbacks.
I don't know about that, but...
No, like he had 876.
He definitely was...
After the New Mexico game, right?
Yeah, I don't think he... I don't know if he would have been All-American, though. Not first team.
He was averaging damn near 20 yards a catch. He would have... At the pace he was going, he would have hit over 1,000. He would have been a Mountain West receiver.
He for sure would have been a Mountain West.
He'd have been third-team All-American.
Yeah, maybe.
Fourth-team All-American. I don't know why there's a fourth-team All-American. Yeah.
But I digress. Continue on.
I'm going to play this now.
Damn, Chris Paul.
Wait, it's not connected? should be connected.
It says iPhone 304.
The weird numbering system, by the way.
Oh, it's the sound's not on. Sorry.
Oh.
All right.
Kenneth Berry, Touchdowns and Tangents Network. Coach and DJ, how does it feel? Obviously, during media day, I talked to you about like just the lineage of Boise State linebackers. Where Coach Avalos, like who he compared you to, like as the season has progressed, and the defense has kind of done what they've done. How do you feel like you've kind of stated your claim amongst the Boise State, greats at linebacker?
I don't know if I've stated my claim. I just try to go out there every single day, every single game, and impact my teammates in a positive way and do everything I can for them on the field to help us win football games.
And Coach, for obviously for as physical as Boise is, especially with Genty, and as physical as UCLA is, what are some similarities in how you're kind of approaching, knowing that they're kind of offensively and defensively, they're going to come at you the same way you guys are probably going to go at them?
Yeah, first, if I could add to your first question to DJ, for those of you guys that don't know DJ Schramm, football is football. This is one of the best people and the best leaders I've ever been around with in 25 years of coaching college football. So we do not take him lightly at Boise State. Secondly, the physical nature of this game, as you can see, I think it's going to be really physical on both sides of the ball because we see what UCLA does in the run game, and then you've seen what we do in the run game, and how we practice is no different than how it is on games. So our defensive line, our defensive front feels like we get to practice against one of the best offensive lines in the country every single day. So I think you're going to see a very physical football game on Saturday.
That was a defensive coordinator. He just recently got hired as defensive. He recently got his elevated to defensive coordinator and linebacker DJ Schramm. Play part 2 of the Boise State.
But you're gonna play UCLA.
But it makes no sense to go back and forth.
All right, kind of does. But
I mean, I could do that.
Oh, go ahead, play what you got.
Because it was all Boise first, and then, or it was all UCLA and then Boise, whatever. Coach, and for DJ, for both of you, obviously Latu for UCLA gets a lot of praise nationally, but how much do you feel like Ahmed has been underrated for this defense? I mean, having 12 and a half sacks, doing what he's done this year, where do you feel like he ranks amongst the best edge rushers in the country?
I mean, this is obviously going to sound biased, but I think he is probably the best edge rusher in the country, and Andrew Simpson is not far behind. But, I mean, Ahmed, he's not – the great thing about Ahmed is he's not worried about any of that. He just shows up and he puts his head down. He goes to work every single day. And when a guy does something like that, it's not really any surprise when he has the production that he has on the field.
Yeah, and I don't know if, underrated is the word because we know how special he is at Boise State. But, when you come off of a year like he had last year with just not a lot of experience, not a lot of statistical, success, then it kind of comes out of nowhere. But we all saw the hard work that he put in. It's like an iceberg. You only see the tip, and there's so much more underneath. But he's a special young guy. I remember when he was about to get 10 sacks, and I asked him, I said, man, this week it could happen. He's like, what? I was like, you know how many sacks you got? He's like, I have no idea. That's just the kind of guy he is. He just puts his head down and works. And once again, we're super lucky to have him on our team and have him come back next year.
All right, now Ahmed Hassanin has 12 and a half sacks. He came from Egypt to California, played in one of the lowest, apparently, high school football leagues in in California. Was trained by his brother. No, I think he won Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year. He had 12 and a half sacks. He has 12 and a half sacks this year. So Latu's not playing, but like Boise has a really good front seven. Andrew Simpson is like I think a sophomore All-American. He played really great against UNLV in the Mountain West title game. He had an amazing interception. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting for Boise. And then I'm gonna play UCLA. Kenneth Berry, Touchdowns and Tangents Network, for Coach and for Darius. How many similarities do you see with this Boise State team? Because both of you guys play great defense and can run the ball. And how much does that kind of make you even tighten down on the things you do? Because what they do almost kind of mirrors how you guys play.
Yeah, I think we're very similar in terms of the pride we take with fundamentals. Way back with Coach Chris Peterson, that has been the Boise State's motto is to be fundamentally sound, to be that blue-collar mentality type team. It's carried over. And Coach Spencer, that he's going to continue that and carry that over. And Coach Hampton, again, he's a Boise State alum, so he kind of knows that. And for us, it'll be the same. There's especially Darius's class, that senior class coming in. I mean, we had a chance to have 3 winning seasons, so they have some pride about what the legacy will be as they lead. But for us, make sure we can execute at all times. Get that ball back.
And for Darius, if you didn't hear it, how are the way Boise State and you guys, the way you guys play, especially defensively, running the ball, it's very similar, especially with the physicality. How do you kind of, when you're studying them, how much do you kind of look back at yourself to make sure you guys are on your P's and Q's? And what are some things that you guys see that they do that kind of, helps you, with gamesmanship?
Right. So when I look at, for me, myself, when I look at teams like Boise State, that are just very physical teams that just love to run the rock and runs it really well. As a linebacker, that's a linebacker's dream right there. I'm just looking forward to this game, running and hitting. That's what we're coached to do, and that's pretty much, what linebackers are taught to do. So I'm really looking forward to this game, playing with, not just the linebackers, but, our whole front seven as a whole. We're really going to have to work together to really stop the run. You mentioned the dynamics of the running backs that they got. They got 2 really great running backs. They're very versatile. So, we really got our hands full. But, it's just going back to the fundamentals for our defense. Just tackling, run fits. Just being able to just execute our plays and really lock in.
Thanks.
The hell was that? You having an identity crisis.
Shut up.
What is going on with your voice?
Shut up,
man?
bro.
You've only been recording for literally almost 10 years, but you out here changing your voice, bro. That's just crazy.
My voice. It's just how it came out that day.
What the fuck was that, bro? I've never heard you say thanks like that. That was disgusting. Thanks. What?
Yo, it's worse
that's
when
a
you
drop,
say
dog.
It
That's a fucking drop, dog.
Thanks. Can you stop? Fuck you, bro.
What the fuck was that, bro?
Shut up. I'm going to just play this one. Deshaun Foster. Ken Berry, Touchdowns and Tangents Network. Coach Foster, this would be the last time Pac-12 school, or you guys' last time in the Pac-12 playing against Boise State. And this would potentially be the first time that a Pac-12 school has ever won the LA Bowl. So what kind of juice does that kind of give you guys, knowing you can win this one on the way out on top of already beating USC the way you did?
We just want to finish on top, get out there and get that sour taste out of our mouth from our last game. just finishing our seniors out on the right note. So I think everybody's focused.
Yeah, so that's running backs coach. I think he's is he offensive coordinator too.
Oh, sure.
I think for sure running backs. So Deshaun Foster, UCLA, great. The last time his last game in college was against Boise State. But yeah, talking to him and other guys, like for some of the Boise State guys, they were like they didn't know that the Mountain West had never actually the senior offensive lineman for Boise State didn't know that, that was a streak that the Mountain West has never lost to the Pac-12 in the LA Bowl. So I'm like, that was good to kind of like hear from them. But they're like, yeah, Boise State also has a tradition: win the conference, win your bowl game. And now we've never lost to a Pac-12 school in this game. Kind of adds a little more. But these two teams mirror each other heavily. UCLA has the advantage at quarterback with Ethan Garbers, but Boise State has a better running back and arguably potentially a better defense since Latu isn't going to be playing. But Ahmed Hassanen is. It's going to be a very good matchup. I'm going to be interviewing. I'm going to be at the press conference tomorrow with Spencer Danielson and Chip Kelly. So that'll be really interesting. It's my third time. It was the third year of the LA Bowl. Gronk will be there, hopefully. I know there's going to be like the fanfare thing from like 2 to 4. We're going to have like free samples of food and stuff. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on. So it should definitely be exciting, The game's already sold out. And also, I'm going to be covering, USC the Holiday Bowl, so that'll be fun. And recently found out this morning I'm going to be also covering the Cotton Bowl, Arlington, Texas, Ohio State versus Missouri or Mizzou. It's going to be a very interesting game. Big Ten versus SEC. It's 3 bowl games in one season. It's 3 bowl games in one season. That's a record for this podcast. So I'm definitely excited. It's one more than I did last year. So I'm just going to take it as progress and do the best I can, put my best foot forward. And I'm also still waiting on to hear back from like 2 more bowl games, ironically. So it could be 4. You never know. Especially if it's like in the Fiesta Bowl in Arizona. You never know. Yeah, it's it for college football right now.
There's a lot of shit that you didn't talk about. I'm going to just speed through it, and then you can just give me your 2 cents on it.
I don't want to like...
Oregon State QB.
Aiden Childs transferred to Michigan State with his head coach, Jonathan Smith.
Jalen Milroe returning to Alabama in 24.
He got his degree. Good for him.
Texas QB Murphy entering the portal.
Yeah, I've been said that shit. Malik Murphy's transferring. He should definitely go to USC. He should just go straight to USC. Just don't think about it. Just go to USC. You played at Sarah, bro. You won the state title at Sarah. There's a pipeline. You the second black quarterback. He got a great arm, can run. He would step right in and
be do with the locks.
Yeah, he would be perfect in USC's offense. Literally perfect. He was never a good fit in Texas. I don't know why the hell he went to Texas. I don't know who told him it was a good idea. He was never going to play under Sark, especially after Quinn Ewers showed up. Yeah, I mean, they already got Justin. Ironically, they got Justin Martin, who was his teammate at Sarah. So he might transfer.
Coastal QB McCall transferring in NC State.
Yeah, Grayson McCall. He actually got like damn near almost paralyzed in a game this season. Coastal Carolina, he's like their all-time leading passer and everything. He did everything he could do there. He actually was enticed to leave last year, but he chose to get back out of the portal and go back to that school. So you can't blame him. He did what he did. Now he's going to North Carolina State because North Carolina State's QB, who was actually playing really great for them, chose to redshirt. I mean, not redshirt. He's transferring to Maryland. Maryland got a really good QB. So, Grayson McCall steps right into North Carolina State. Riley Leonard, the Duke transfer, went to Notre Dame. Typical.
Dylan Gabriel to Oregon.
Yeah. Not surprised. And Jaden Daniels, LA native, one of the greatest quarterbacks in California history, California high school history, won the Heisman. People say Michael Penix should have won it. That's a very great argument. I think if you're going to go by that logic, he should have won it. But I think it's just too easy to snub the Pac-12.
Pretty much.
So there that goes. But also, it's kind of funny because Christian McCaffrey should have won it over Derrick Henry. But the best player on the best team got it that year.
I mean, but Penix finished third too, right? He didn't even finish second.
Yeah, but my thing is when it comes to best players, like Jaden Daniels was far and away the best player in college football. And it's just funny, like a California kid had to go to the SEC and dominate to get the national recognition.
All right, quick one for Take Your Tangent. This will be a quick one. As soon as I can find the sound.
Oh, and a judge temporarily allows NCAA athletes to play after a second transfer, so that's good. A lot of guys got screwed. As Newsom.
Fuck. Yeah, so the NFL's set to play a game in Brazil. It'll be its first game in South America. They're extending the international series of games from 4 to 8. So do you have a take or a tangent, Kenny?
That's dope. Yeah, it's going to be in Brazil.
Yeah, I think it's good too because it's kind of like a big, unique, untapped audience for them. So, interesting to see how it plays out, how it grows the game. This next one. Goodell said hip drop tackles are, quote, something that needs to get out of the game. Do you have a take or a tangent?
Just looked at the rundown and saw that Steelers point. That's crazy. I mean, that's not even a real form of tackling. It was never a form of tackling. No coach ever taught me to tackle like that. It's just how you get somebody to the ground. Because if you're tackling somebody from behind, how else are you supposed to tackle them? They're running away from you at full speed.
Exactly.
Like, the only inclination is to, like, wrap your arms around them from behind and turn to the side and stop their momentum. And they either go with it or they get their leg caught up. But, like, there's nothing you can do to get that play out of football. Then you're not playing football. If I can't tackle you from behind, then what are we doing?
Yeah,
so that
much.
means quarterbacks can never be sacked.
Pretty much. At this point, it's like just take a knee at the quarterback.
Just let them keep running. Oh, you'll hit them late. Well, no matter what I do, you're going to punish the defense. And like Tom Brady said, the defense is being penalized because the offense is shitty at their job. Quarterbacks
go down, tuck the ball, run out of bounds.
You want to take advantage.
Slide.
You want to take advantage of the rules and then put a defender in a bad spot. But then when it's your defense, you want to cry like babies, like the Chiefs. So when your team was getting the benefit of the calls in the Super Bowl, when you essentially won a Super Bowl on that holding call on James Bradbury, you were happy. And you're like, oh, Eagles fans, go suck it. But when the Packers game rolls around, I'm supposed to feel sorry for you. When the Broncos game rolls around, I'm supposed to feel sorry for you. When the Bills game rolls around, I'm supposed to feel sorry for you. Yeah, no thank you. Hard pass. Deal with it. Be smarter on offense. Be better on offense.
I agree. Agree with everything you said.
Instead of penalizing defenders.
Roger Goodell says he denies wanting to ban the tush push. Do you have a take or a tangent?
Nah, not really. Like, it's QB sneak, bro.
Yeah, but the difference is you pushing the ball carrier.
Okay, that happens every play.
You're basically making them a projectile.
That happens every play.
Yeah, I disagree. I think it is something that should be banned. Just like you can't just hop over a center, period.
But they do it every play.
You can't just hop over a center.
They do it every play.
You can't do it on a field goal.
They do it all the time.
You can't hop over a center, bro.
They do it all the time.
Not really.
Okay. Here's the thing.
They don't
jump over the middle of the center.
They don't push off a D
lineman.
They
slant a D lineman at the center, knowing the guard's legs are wrapped behind the center's legs. So if I create a pile on the guard, the center's getting rolled up and getting his fucking knees taken out.
A pile.
It's the same problem, bro.
But the difference is you're not
creating
another projectile. Like, you're not using another person.
Yeah, I'm using another person to destroy another person's ACL.
Nah, you're just creating a pile. Like, that's part of the game.
Have you ever been at the bottom of a pile?
Yeah, I definitely have been at the bottom of a pile.
Have you ever been at the bottom of a pile after long snapping?
I never long snapped.
Yeah, I long snapped. I long snapped. I long snapped. I'm telling you, that shit is not fun, bro. When you're long snapping,
exactly. So you're just making my point.
No, I don't like the fact that like D linemen.
How do you think
coaches will have their D linemen slant at the center?
How do you think they defend the tush push? Exactly what you're talking about. Just make a log jam at the center. It's literally the only.
They
defense.
make a log jam on the D tackle.
So literally,
they pick a gap and say we're log jamming this way.
You're literally just making my point.
No, but it's the reverse because on when field goals, the defense gets to bully the long snapper.
Nah, not really.
Yeah,
you can't do anything.
They slant.
Really. Not anymore.
They do shit that like will hurt the guard next to them, which means that guard's caving into my leg. So you can say, "Oh, we didn't send the lineman at you, yeah, but you caused a fucking car crash right next to me, and now I'm rolled up after I snapped the ball."
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Half the time people didn't even go hard on field goal, honestly.
I went and get up some dirty ass schools. They did that shit. Centennial used to do that shit. Slant fucking D lineman, knowing the guard has to pick them up. So now the long snapper's just in a phone booth like, well, I guess fuck my ACLs. Because now both of you guys are going to wrestle to the ground and I'm going to get my leg pulled up.
Jamar Chase crowns himself the best receiver in the league. Take your tangent, Kenny.
I mean, it's kind of hard to not to. You set a receiving record your first year and your second year and your third year in the league. What does that say? Well, and you didn't play your last year of college.
Well, Tyreek.
He was a redshirt freshman.
2K Tyreek.
Wasn't he a redshirt freshman when he
Tyreek's about to hit that 2K though.
I mean, Tyreek is the best player. I would say, but if you put him on the Niners and put McCaffrey on the Dolphins, I don't think McCaffrey does what he does on the Dolphins. Tyreek Hill's it's just his time right now. Like every receiver who's elite has their time. I mean, outside of getting his ankle mashed up, he's really impossible to guard. Hold Christian McCaffrey, under 100 yards. You can keep him out of the end zone. But Tyreek Hill, if he gets a ball in his hands, he's averaging 20 yards a catch. He's not able to stop unless he gets hurt.
Fade. On that note, Tyreek doesn't think the MVP will go to receiver. He said, quote, "I'd be happier if Tua won it." Fair or fade?
I mean, fair. He knows it's the quarterback award. It is. I mean, McCaffrey should win it, but it's the quarterback award, sadly.
Well, I think it's like we talked about at the beginning of the show. If the Dolphins, didn't lose a game they shouldn't lose every other week, it'd be much easier to just for him to just run away with the award because he
Shout out
really
to
has
Deion.
been the catalyst for that team.
Shout out to DeAndre Hopkins, by the way.
But yeah,
Imagine if the Chiefs paid him.
But yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see. All right, Mahomes lost his shit after the offensive offsides call on Sunday Night Football. Basically said it was the worst call he'd ever seen. Blah blah blah. Kadarius Toney was called offsides. In case you missed it,
He was like a full yard offsides. He was like with
he
the
was
center.
yeah
He was like ahead of the center. And he did it like 4 times that game, apparently. It was like 4 times he was offsides.
Reed stood by him. Mahomes backed down from it. He said he was sorry. He should have handled himself better. He shouldn't have said anything to Allen or the media or referees, but
I think he was mad at Kadarius, but he took it out on the ref.
pretty much.
Because ain't no way you could look at that and be like, keep doing shit, Kadarius. Keep doing dumb shit. Why, Kadarius?
Roethlisberger says, quote, maybe the tradition of the Pittsburgh Steelers is done. Fair fade.
Yeah. And it probably would have picked up quicker had your ass retired sooner. But you didn't. You hung on there extra couple of years when you really should have retired. And like Rashad Mendenhall said, you can't give this guy all the credit and me all the blame. I have to give Ben Roethlisberger some blame for what happened, for why they didn't win. Like, you just can't keep blaming everybody else. You can't keep blaming Antonio Brown when he was the reason they were in those games. You can't blame Le'Veon Bell because he wanted to get paid when he literally was the reason they were in games. So you can't blame the defense because all the offensive guys are getting paid and you're not putting together a good defense. So it's like, at one point, the leader is the leader, or you're just looking to shoot this guy bail. Pardon the pun. So, yeah, I mean, those Steelers days are over. Kenny Pickett ain't the guy, clearly. That offense is stagnant. The defense is the defense, but, like, some soul searching kind of has to be done.
All right. I agree with you. I think ultimately, as much as I hate to say it, I mean, we're kind of talking about it with Belichick, but it's like, I don't know. I don't think Tomlin's to blame, but I think maybe they could use a change. Like, I don't think Tomlin is a bad coach, but I think maybe they just need a kind of new messenger at this point. I think he has more left than Belichick for sure to coach, and I think he's more relatable to the players these days than Belichick is.
And if Mike Tomlin ended up in Las Vegas, I would not be mad.
I would not be mad either.
That would be an outstanding hire.
All right, Kenny. Brant, close out the show.
Shout out to Greg Delpit for the Cleveland Browns getting a 3-year, $36 million contract, and Austin Jackson last week for getting a 3-year, $36 million contract extension. Yeah, it's been an interesting week. Excited to get this first bowl game been out the way. It's going to be a long, exciting bowl season. So, happy about that. Happy about the opportunities that have come our way. So the NFL Network holiday party was last night. It was cool. They had free In-N-Out truck. They had an In-N-Out truck, no fries. They had chips because, having fries would just cost way too much money. And it's like a chocolate fondue station. Liquor was flowing. They had hot toddies. Had a hot toddy with a bourbon in it. That shit was nice. Definitely took the edge off. Definitely cleared up my throat. And they had they had the lines were just so long though. Like I got like a mug. I got my name engraved in a mug. I had to go pick it up because I was in line for an hour and fucking 20 minutes to get like a rookie card. So they took a picture of us and then like put it in a rookie card and put the official seal on it. so it's like permanently sealed. Um, one had a really great picture. Really happy about it. I just want to say shout out to my barber. $15 tip on my haircut. I gave him like double or twice my haircut money just because it was such a great haircut. Probably top three best haircut I've ever had in my life. Salute to him. Salute to my hairline being perfectly symmetrical. And like salute to me for working on my beard. It's coming in. Doesn't look patchy. You can see it's coming together. I've been doing a lot of moisturizing and shit and washing my face. Like exfoliating really takes a lot of work, y'all. Just, like it takes a lot of fucking work. Yeah. That's about it for me.
Yeah, man. So watching the Clipper game, hoping they can hold on to their 6th straight win.
Oh wait, no, sorry. One last thing.
11 and 12 weeks.
I forgot to say one last thing. Fuck the Angels. I'm full-time Dodgers fan. How do you manage to fucking fumble Ohtani and then now you're going to get nothing for Trout when you could have traded Ohtani and Trout at the fucking deadline? How stupid can you be as an organization, bro? Like, how stupid can you fucking be as an organization? Like, Khalil Mack getting traded for pennies wasn't this bad of a fucking trade, but it wasn't a trade. The Dodgers just said, hey, we'll defer $700 million. And you can say you live in Japan and you can get all the money and avoid California state taxes, which I'm pretty sure from one of my attorney friends said is kind of illegal, but they're going to find a way to make that loophole work or they're going to close it next offseason. For real, fuck the Angels, and I hope they lose their fucking case with how they were gerrymandering the city. Yeah, get your money, Ohtani.
Shit.
Sorry, I just had to say that. I had to get that off my heart. Angels are fucking stupid.
Oh, shit.
Why injured? But why is injured? It's his knee or his foot. His knee? Bang knees? Did he gong knees? Ankle maybe? He landed hard on his knee. He landed hard on his knee though.
No, I think it's his ankle.
Yeah, it looked like it.
Yeah, it looks like his ankle twisted.
And he caught one of the ribs.
Probably a high ankle sprain.
God damn, bro.
Yeah, all right. He's good. He's fine.
But imagine like a normal person with that injury. Fucking instant death.
Anyways, I'm hoping the Clippers can hold on to their 6th straight and like I think 11 and 12. So slowly climbing up the standings, slowly showing what they're capable of, and they're still not even playing 50% of their best basketball, to be honest. So it'll be amazing to see once they get up to 100%. I mean, Paul George isn't even playing right now, and they're beating the Warriors by a couple possessions, but they were up big early. So we'll see what happens. And yeah, just to Kenny's point, I mean, I kind of gave up on the Angels 2 years ago when the Shohei rumors began, just because I knew it was going to kind of play out like this. So yeah, I mean, I kind of hope that they do something with Trout before they kind of just let him waste away and no one ever sees him in actual playoff baseball. But I mean, I feel like the big teams are kind of already making their moves, so I'm not sure where you're going to send Trout. If you're going to send him to the Giants or the Red Sox. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Ohtani is great for the city. It's just funny to me that, like, you know, like, he was already kind of adjacent to the area, but somehow still marrying his brand with the Dodgers made tickets go up like 600%, which is like ridiculous. So I feel bad for casual Dodger fan trying to go out to a game with their family, but that's just kind of what it is these days. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see the Dodgers, especially as a Padres fan. But I don't know. The Padres finally got some pitching, which was nice, even though they had to give up Soto. So we'll see what they can do. They should be all right as long as Tatis comes back to where he was a couple years ago. Yeah, man. Outside of that, we got a little getaway plan this weekend, so I'm excited for that. Got a cookout plan next week. The house, my friends, so that should be cool. I don't know what Kenny's making, but hopefully he says he can cook, so hopefully he'll finally show off. But we'll see. And yeah, I'm gonna smoke some ribs finally and break in my grill. That's
chicken quesadillas. I'm joking. If you really don't like quesadillas, bro, how
your
you hate
entire ancestry just turned over in your grave.
No, they didn't.
What you're suggesting the most white fucking Becky thing.
That's not a Becky thing. First off, hold on. You ain't never heard my mom's chicken quesadillas.
You're appropriating.
That's not appropriating.
You're appropriating Mexican culture, first off.
No, I'm not.
You're not even Mexican.
You're barely Mexican.
Second off, quesadilla is barely even Mexican food.
So what are you mad
at?
at?
I want to get down to it.
So what are you mad at?
And third of all, that's not really a potluck style thing that you bring to a potluck. Because one,
you just call it a potluck.
It's hella cheese. And two,
I should probably avoid cheese for a while.
And two, it's like really filling, bro.
Greasy and filling? That's kind of the point. But all right.
Nah, man.
I'll just avoid cheese.
Mister, I know how to cook, but I'm going to make a quesadilla. What in the frat house are we fucking talking about?
Oh, that's disrespectful.
That's some frat house shit. Oh, bro, quesadillas.
First off, damn, why are you hating on quesadillas, bro? That's crazy.
They're all just bringing Jack in the Box tacos, bro.
Don't disrespect me like. Don't ever fucking disrespect
That's
me like
some
that.
shit you would do.
Don't ever disrespect me like that.
That's shit you would do.
I know how to cook.
Anyways, well, this is Touchdowns and Tangents. TDs_tangents on Twitter and Instagram. Touchdownsandtangents.com. All your favorite podcast apps. Catch us there. Shout out to all the people who fuck with us. Shout out to our affiliates. We are out. Shout out to Nikki. Safe travels. Enjoy the holidays.
Peace.
And catch this fantasy, yo. Peace. The last word? I haven't pushed up. So I'm waiting for you to get the last word.
I gave you the last word 2 weeks in a row. You don't want it. What's wrong with you?